Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we're going to be taking a look at the youth stage of the Esbr, and we're going to be basically seeing how difficult it is. Now, the one thing about Esbr that a lot of players I think either forget, or maybe we just always comparing it to super hard content like red zone and things like that. Esbr, for the most part, and Esbr has a lot more tools that you can use to deal with it than other content. Red zone, you can't seal usually, you can't stun, you can only bring one set of items. With Esbr and Esbr, you can bring 4 sets of items, you can bring a support memory, you can stun, you can seal. So there's a lot more ways to skin a cat, so to say, from a Dokkan difficulty perspective. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I personally think the youth one is pretty nice. I think it's a good level of difficulty. I don't think it's too hard. I think maybe it could have been tweaked a bit harder. It does feel like the new Goku does decimate the stage, but I mean, maybe that was what they wanted. Goku is by far and away the best youth category unit, so it does make sense. But youth is not deceptively weak. Youth has some pretty great options. I've decided to mix it up and kind of go with a combination of DB Saga youth and normal, well, I say normal youth, but like Goten and Trunks kind of youth. But yeah, the youth teams generally have kind of 2 builds around them. They have like this DB Saga, Goku Kid, Chi-Chi Kid, Bulma Kid kind of like team builds. And then they have kind of more your Goten and Trunkses from the Martian Buu saga, your Gotankses, that kind of phase. You do get some Gohan kids, but I always feel like they kind of fall more in between than anything else. Like, they don't necessarily link up too great with anyone specifically. And then you also have a bunch of pans that are peppered around. Generally speaking, there's numerous ways to skin a cat, and I think I might look at youth as one of my builds of the week relatively soon, I think, just because of how interesting the team actually is, and there's quite a few good, strong options. But in terms of right now, I think the best lead is Goku. The quest for Dragon Ball's Goku Youth, he's essentially a 200% lead for all Dragon Ball Saga category units, which helps. A lot of these DB Saga units are pretty good, and having the ability to give them a 200% lead does help quite a lot. So Goku's there. Goku's pretty good as a lead. He does a lot, as you guys know, I'm sure. He's got attack and defense, he's got support capabilities, he's got damage reduction, he's got crit, he's got additional supers, he's got the ability to give crit and damage reduction to his rotation, he's got an active skill. He's just what I would like to classify as pretty badass. So Goku's really good. We're actually also going to be using the Int Goku Youth, who I think, this is before his Extreme Z Awakening, but who I think is a pretty fun unit as well. He's also got that medium chance of stunning the enemy, which is great, and then he's got a whole bunch of additional bonuses. Additional defense the lower your health gets. He gains attack and defense at the start of each turn. He's got a guaranteed critical hit. He's got that super useful active skill. And although we don't manage to use necessarily his full kit here, I do think it's pretty cool, his whole build in general. Like, I think he's got a lot going on for him, and I think he's really, really strong. Then we're using one of the free-to-play units, the original Golden Duo, Goku Youth, Bulma Youth, and their EZA was really good, actually, really helped them out. Not to mention, their lead skill is really, them being under Goku's lead skill is really, really good. DB Saga, Dragon Ball Seekers, which is fantastic. And yeah, overall, just a very, very nice unit. Lots of utility, lots of stunning, and they're great on a youth DB Saga hybrids team. It really suits them. Having more DB Saga units would suit them more, but for now it's pretty good. Then Chi-Chi is kind of like the final DB Saga unit. Chi-Chi Youth, pretty good unit. Immaculately Innocent approach. Chi-Chi Youth, really nice. She got attack of 330% when performing a super attack, and she will also have 200% defense when there's a character whose name includes Goku, and an additional 100% if that character's in the same turn. So pretty good stuff. Honestly speaking, she's also got a 70% chance to stun, which for those of you who don't know is an incredibly powerful ability in Super Battle Road, ESBR, and pretty much any content like this, so definitely super helpful to have her along. And yeah, she really helps out. She's great with this Goku. They don't necessarily share like the craziest links in the world. I think they only share Guidance of the Dragon Balls, Incredible Adventure, and the Innocents, I believe they share as well. Yes, no, maybe, I think so. But yeah, generally speaking, just pretty good stuff across the board, and pretty nice stuff in general. And then we have the Goten and Trunks Super Saiyan unit. Fantastic unit, by the way, with really good damage. I think a lot of people forget how much damage these guys can do. They're a little bit RNG like dependent, and you want to really get their active skill to activate. But when it does activate, it's actually a great pseudo tank mechanism, because they'll just evade every attack in that turn, which means it gives you a great way to set up other units that you might have, like the Tech Trunks Kid, who's also a fantastic unit with pretty sizable damage reduction, 70% if there's a Goten Kid or a Krillin in turn, which is really good. And yeah, just in general, a very solid unit. Great in the first slot if we have Goten and Trunks, and this Goten and Trunks unit, the joint duo one, does actually trigger the full, like, you know, it triggers the full passive. So yeah, overall I would say the team functions really nicely, and there wasn't really that many issues. The final unit is another free-to-play one, just more for the sake of it than anything else, honestly speaking. Vegeta Kid, 100% attack and defense when performing a super attack. He also has build up with every super attack performed, and an additional attack with each super attack performed, additional defense when there's another youth category unit, when there's another gifted warriors category unit. He launches an additional attack. There's a medium chance of coming a super attack with 3 or more key spheres obtained. But the big thing is his high chance to stun. Again, stunning is incredibly powerful in the like ESBR setting. So having Vegeta kind of, you know, sitting around with like the stunning and some decent defense and some decent like everything, I think is good. Like, I think for me is probably where I'd say things look really good for me with Vegeta. I just think having that stunning is always something that's super duper helpful, and I think, yeah, if you're someone who's, you're looking for just a slot filler, I think having a unit that can stun is always a very solid option when you're doing like, you know, these kind of events like SBR, ESBR. Anytime you can basically slap you know, a whole bunch of stuns down there, I think is really good, just because it helps like an immense amount basically. But yeah, overall pretty good stuff. I was not watching the screen when I did this token attack. I was busy making dinner, which is why I've absolutely missed every single one. But that's okay. Yeah, it is what it is. We weren't really in any position to be like in trouble or anything, so I wasn't really too concerned. We did get a little bit lucky with some evasions from Goku, which is great. But yeah, overall, I think the event was pretty good. I think the team build worked nicely, especially with pre-EZA Giant or Goku Youth with his Ozaru attack. I think pre-EZA is pretty good, personally speaking. Yeah, it's really not that bad, if that makes sense. Like, I think there's plenty of options. I don't think how can I say, I don't think the team build is one way only. I think you can have numerous team builds, different kind of vibes. You can see here, we've got the active skill. We've got plenty of great tools to really just kind of counter and control the fight and just do a lot of great work. But yeah, that is basically it from me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It would be greatly appreciated if you leave a like, and if you did, of course, or you need more help, you can leave a comment down below and I'll always try to reply. But yeah, pretty fun stage, and I think the youth category's got a couple different builds you can go with. So yeah, that's it from me. See you next time. Bye.